Greetings and welcome to INFODOME, where we curate facts about a wide selection of topics for you to feed your curiosity. In this series, we are travelling through time to give you facts about some of the more interesting kings and queens of England. William the Conqueror was a complicated man who began life as the illegitimate son of a French nobleman and ended life as a king who had conquered northern France, England and Scotland. A ruthless warrior, he was also a gifted ruler, an administrator, and a highly religious man. Let's go back to the turn of the first millennium and get to know the father of England. There isn't much known about William's early life. What we do know is he was born in 1028 in Normandy, France. William was an illegitimate child of Robert I, Duke of Normandy, who died in 1035 while returning from a pilgrimage to Jerusalem. At only 8 years of age, William became the new Duke of Normandy. Violence and corruption plagued his early reign as the feudal barons fought for control of his fragile dukedom. A few of William's guards died and his teacher was murdered during a period of severe anarchy. With the help of King Henry I of France, William managed to survive the early years. It was when William was older, around 20, that he nearly lost the title to his cousin, Guy of Burgundy. Guy had gathered the support of a number of nobles and formed an army to beat William. William met Guy at the Battle of Val-les-Dunes in 1047. There he defeated Guy and began to establish his control over Normandy. Over the next few years, William would consolidate power across the region of Normandy. He fought down several revolts and by 1060 had firm control of Normandy. King Henry I of France knighted William, still in his teens, in 1042. Taking a new stand on political events, William finally gained firm control of his duchy. By 1064, he had conquered and won 2 neighbouring provinces, Brittany and Maine. In the meantime, Edward, the childless King of England, promised his cousin William succession to the throne. However, when Edward died in 1066, his brother-in-law and most powerful of the English lords, Harold Godwin, claimed the throne of England for himself, despite an oath he made to William to support his claim. The Witan, a council of English lords that commonly took part in deciding succession, supported Harold. William, angered by the betrayal, decided to invade England and enforce his claim. William assembled a fleet and an army on the French coast, but due to unrelenting north winds, their advance was delayed for several weeks. In the meantime, the Norwegian army invaded England from the North Sea. Harold, who had been preparing for William's invasion from the south, rapidly moved his army north to defeat England from Norway. After defeating the Norwegians, Harold unwisely marched his troops back down to meet William, without arrest. On October 14, 1066, the two armies met in the famous Battle of Hastings. King Harold and his 2 brothers were killed in the battle, and since no one of stature remained to raise a new army, William's path to the throne was clear. He was crowned King of England on Christmas Day that year. Castles were a French invention. The earliest examples were built around the turn of the first millennium, along the Loire Valley. There were plenty in Normandy before 1066, but only a tiny handful in England, built in the English king, Edward the Confessor. By the time of William's death in 1087, around 500 castles had been built across England and Wales. Most were constructed from earth and timber, but work had also begun on great stone towers in London, Colchester and Chepstow. In 1085, William ordered a full survey of the land holdings of all of England. He had men go around the land and record who owned the land and all the property they had, including such things as livestock, farm equipment and mills. the information was all put into a single book called the Domesday Book. William died while leading a battle in northern France in 1087. His oldest son Robert became Duke of Normandy, and his second son, also called William, became King of England. William was taken to the Priory of Saint Gervais, just outside Rouen, where he lay dying for 5 weeks. William died at daybreak on September the 9th in his 60th year. His burial at St. Stephen's Church, which he had built in Caen, was as eventful as his life. The funeral procession was disrupted by a fire in the town. A local noble complained that he had been dispossessed of the land in which William was to be buried, and William's body was broken as it was forced into the stone coffin. The tomb itself was desecrated by Calvins in the 16th century and by revolutionaries in the 18th. William the Conqueror had 4 sons and 5 daughters, and every monarch of England since has been his direct descendant. He left a profound mark on both Normandy and England, and is one of the most important figures of medieval English history. Although he never spoke English and was illiterate, he had more influence on the evolution of the English language than anyone before or since. English language and literature, and art and architecture, were transformed because of William's conquests. New forms of land tenure and military service were established after the conquest, and castles dotted the landscape as a symbol of a new regime. As conqueror and king, William significantly shaped the history of England. We hope you enjoyed learning about the first true King of England. If you want to find out more about other kings and queens of England, please have a look at some of our other videos. We also have a wide range of other topics to feed your curiosity. So, until next time.